clavicle. And this is an example for a long bone, and we all know this clavicle is the only long bone which is placed horizontally, and we can see it is in our body it is placed like this, horizontally placed, okay, but it is a long bone. Okay, so being a long bone, it has two ends. We can see there are two ends, and the middle portion there will be a shaft. Then there are some peculiar, this clavicules are otherwise known as collarbone, okay, because it is placed like this, no, in our body, so it is known as collarbone. And there are some peculiarities for this clavicle, and one peculiarity is it is the only long bone which is placed horizontally. So all the other long bones which are placed vertically in our body other than the clavicle. Okay. And second peculiarity is there is no medullary cavity for this clavicle. Okay. Medullary cavity is absent in case of clavicle. Okay. And all the bones, we know that the center there will be a cavity, so that is absent in the clavicle. In case of clavicle, medullary cavity is absent. And next peculiarity is it is the first bone which starts ossification. That ossification means formation of bone. Okay, formation of bone is known as ossification. So this is the first bone in our body which starts ossification. Okay, and this is the last bone to complete ossification. Okay, that also is there in case of clavicle. This is the last bone which completes the ossification also. And sometimes this clavicle will be pierced by a supraclavicular nerve. Sometimes it is pierced by a lateral supraclavicular nerves. And next peculiarity is it is throughout it is subcutaneous. Subcutaneous means it can be seen just below our skin. Okay, we can feel the clavicle from one end to the other end also. Okay, so that is it is subcutaneous. Okay, can be seen just below the skin. So these are some peculiarities for the clavicle. Okay. Then side determination. So how we will determine the side of a bone, that means whether it belongs to right side or it belongs to left side. Okay. For the side determination, we can see there are two ends. I already told you there are two ends for the clavicle. Okay. And look at the two ends, and one end you can see it is rounded or it is thickened, and here another end it will be flattened. So this thick portion or this rounded end should come medially. Medially means towards our central part of our body. So it should come medially, and this flattened part, this portion, this small portion, that should go laterally. Okay, so medially and laterally. So we can get two ends. Okay, so this rounded end you have to place medially towards central part of our body, and lateral, this flattened end or the small portion you have to keep laterally. Okay, and you have to look at the shaft. This is the shaft. Okay, so shaft, we can see medially the shaft is convex forward. Okay, convex forward, that is bulged forward. Okay. And laterally the shaft is concave backward. So it can be seen like a S shape. Yes. Okay. So there will be medially the shaft is convex forward, front, anteriorly it is convex. Okay. And concave backward. Concave here. Okay. It is concave laterally. So like that we will get the medial and lateral portion, and also we can identify the anterior and posterior portion also, because the shaft is convex anteriorly, so we will get the anterior portion. So if we keep like this, here also we can see medial end is coming medially, lateral end is going laterally. But look at the shaft, that time the shaft become concave anteriorly. Okay, and lateral end become convex. So you have to keep like this only. That means it belongs to my left side. Okay, left side bone. Okay. So this is the anatomical position. Now we got the anatomical position how to keep the clavicle like this. Okay, so medial end should come medially, lateral end should go laterally, that is flattened portion should go laterally, and shaft convex. Medial portion it's convex forwards, and laterally concave. Okay. And when look at the shaft inferiorly, we can see there is a depression at the middle. Inferior surface has a depression, and at the lateral side of the depression there will be an opening also. Here we can see a small opening, that is the nutrient foramen. That means one artery will enter inside this foramen and gives nutrients to the bone. Okay, so this foramen is known as nutrient foramen. So this is the nutrient foramen. Here we can see a small opening can be seen, so that is the nutrient foramen. Okay. So this nutrient foramen and this depression area should come inferiorly. We have to place it inferiorly. Okay. So this is the anatomical position of the clavicle. Okay. And what are the features of the clavicle? We already mentioned there are two ends. There is a medial end and a lateral end. So this medial end, that is rounded, and this will articulate with the sternum here. Okay. So at the central portion we have sternum. So the medial end articulates with the sternum, and lateral end, the small narrow portion, so this portion will articulate with the scapula. Okay. And this is the scapula in our body. Okay, scapula. And the scapula we will study. So there will be two process. This is the acromion process of scapula. This is the coracoid process of scapula. So it is seen behind like this. Okay. So like this, the acromion process, and the like this it will articulate, or clavicle. Okay. So it articulates with the scapula laterally. Okay. So this is the two ends. So medial end is rounded and it articulates with the sternum, and lateral end is flat and narrow. It articulates with the acromion process of the scapula. And coming to the shaft is divided into two parts. Here itself we can see there will be a medial 2/3 part and a lateral 1/3 part. Okay. The shaft is divided into a medial 2/3 and a lateral 1/3 portion. Okay. So each portion we will see in detail. So first lateral 1/3. So in the lateral 1/3 we can see it is flattened portion. It's not rounded. Okay, it's flattened, so that it has two surfaces. There will be two surfaces. It has two surfaces and there are two borders. Okay. So here we can see this one. So there will be a superior surface and an inferior surface, and there will be an anterior border and a posterior border. Okay. So these are the features: superior surface, inferior surface, anterior border and posterior border. Okay. So this is lateral 1/3. Then we can see in the inferior surface of the lateral 1/3, superior surface is rough, and inferior surface we can see the inferior surface has a tubercle here. A tubercle means projection, and small projection, that is known as tubercle. So here we can see in the inferior surface there is a tubercle that is known as conoid tubercle. Conoid. Okay. So and this tubercle will leads to a ridge. Here we can see this, there is a ridge, so that is known as trapezoid ridge. So there is conoid tubercle and trapezoid ridge. So you can see this is the conoid tubercle. This is the conoid tubercle, and there will be a ridge, that is trapezoid ridge. This conoid tubercle and trapezoid ridge. Okay. So that is the peculiarity in the lateral 1/3. Okay. So the lateral 1/3 of the clavicle has two surfaces. There is an superior surface and inferior surface, and there is an anterior border and posterior border. Okay. Then coming to the medial 2/3, it is cylindrical in shape, cylindrical or rounded. Okay. And it has four surfaces. So we have to keep it in anatomical position. So like this is the anatomical position, and here we can see there is a superior surface, an inferior surface, there is an anterior surface and a posterior surface. So four surfaces: superior surface, inferior surface, anterior surface and posterior surface. Okay, so these are the four surfaces of the medial two-third of the clavicle shaft. Okay, and all the surfaces gives attachment to the muscles. Okay, muscular attachments are there in the clavicle. Okay, and a peculiarity, anterior surface is smooth and it is convex. Okay. Posterior surface is concave. We can see concave posterior surface. Okay. And superior surface is rough. And inferior surface, this is the inferior surface. So here we already studied inferior surface. There is a groove in the middle. Groove means depression. Okay. So there is a groove in the middle, and lateral to that groove there is an opening that is known as nutrient foramen. So this nutrient foramen gives space for the entering of nutrient arteries. Nutrient artery means the blood supply of this bone. Okay. So that nutrient artery passes through this foramen, nutrient foramen. Okay. And this case of this clavicle, we can see this foramen is directed lateral side, towards lateral side. So the direction of the nutrient foramen determines the growing end of a bone. Okay. So the direction of the nutrient foramen is always opposite to the growing end of a bone. Okay. So in case of clavicle, this nutrient foramen is directed laterally. That means the medial end of the clavicle is the growing end. Medial end of the clavicle. Okay. So that is the shaft. And there are so many muscles. Before going to the muscles, once again I will tell the features of the clavicle. So the clavicle, being a long bone, it has two ends, medial end and lateral end. So this medial end, that is rounded and articulates with the sternum. So this end is also known as sternal end. Medial end is also known as sternal end because it articulates with the sternum. Okay. And lateral end, it is flattened and a small portion, and it articulates with the scapula. Okay. That is acromial process of the scapula. So this end is also known as acromial end. So the clavicle has a sternal end and a acromial end, or medial end and lateral end. Okay. And at the central portion, this is known as shaft of the clavicle, and in the shaft it is divided into a medial 2/3 portion and a lateral 1/3 portion. Medial 2/3 and lateral 1/3 portion. And we can see the medial 2/3 portion, it is convex anteriorly, convex. Okay. And lateral 1/3, it is concave anteriorly, concave. Okay. And coming to the lateral 1/3 of the clavicle shaft, the lateral 1/3 has a superior surface and an inferior surface. It has an anterior border and a posterior border. Okay. And in case of this lateral 1/3, we can see inferiorly, in the inferior surface, there is a tubercle that is known as conoid tubercle, and there is a ridge that is known as trapezoid ridge. Conoid tubercle and trapezoid ridge. Okay. And that is the peculiarity in the lateral 1/3. Coming to the medial 2/3 has four surfaces: superior surface, inferior surface, anterior surface, and posterior surface. Okay. Then peculiarity is anterior surface, you can see it is convex and smooth. Posterior surface is concave. Okay. Then superior surface is rough, and inferior surface, at the middle there is a groove, and towards the lateral side of the groove there is a foramen or opening that is known as nutrient foramen. Okay. Then, so these are the features of the clavicle. And coming to the muscles attachment, muscular attachment, actually this here we can see towards the lateral side, it gives attachment to the anteriorly. There is another tubercle can be seen towards the anterior part. This is known as deltoid tubercle. So it gives attachment to the deltoid muscle, and posteriorly it gives attachment to the trapezius muscle. deltoid anteriorly and posteriorly trapezius. Okay. Coming to the medial side, superior surface gives attachment to the sternocleidomastoid muscle. Anterior surface gives attachment to the pectoralis major muscle. Then posterior surface gives attachment to the sternohyoid muscle. Sternohyoid. Okay. Posteriorly. Okay. Then these are the and inferior surface. The inferior surface actually, it's a rough impression, gives the inferior surface. We can see we already told there is a groove. Okay, so that groove gives attachment to the subclavius muscle. So this groove is also known as subclavian groove. Subclavian groove. Okay, so it gives attachment to the subclavius muscle. Okay, so these are the muscles, main muscles attached to the clavicle, main muscle. Okay, and anatomy, this one, ossification of the clavicle. Ossification, so ossification means the formation of this clavicle. So ossification, there will be primary center and secondary center. So primary center means center which appears before birth, and secondary center is the center which appears after birth. Okay, so there, in the case of clavicle, there are two primary centers. That means two center will appear before birth. Okay, so two primary centers that appears at the 5th week of intrauterine life. 5th week. Okay, and the secondary center, and they both will fuses after the 45th day. After 45 days, the two primary center will join together and form a single center. Okay. Then for the secondary center that appears for the medial end of the clavicle, so that appears at the 15th to 17th year, and it fuses with the clavicle at 21 to 22nd year. So for you people, it is important you have to note it, because in case of x-rays, while taking x-rays and all, don't confuse with the fracture, because the secondary center for the medial end of the clavicle. Okay, so the primary center is there for the shaft, but the secondary center will appear at the 15th to 17th year. Okay, and this center will fuses with the shaft only at 21st to 22nd year. Okay, so when we are taking the x-ray, when a patient is having 21 or 20 or 18th year, there we can see this center will be separately seen. Okay, so don't mistaken with the fracture. Okay. So that is the ossification of clavicle. So two primary center for the shaft, which appears at the 5th week of intrauterine life, before birth. Okay. And secondary center, that is for the medial end of the clavicle, that appears at the 15th to 17th year, and this fuses with the shaft at 21st to 22nd year. Okay. That's the ossification or formation of the bone. And coming to the applied aspect of the clavicle, so when fracture occurs, mostly for this skeletal system, fracture is the main thing. So usually what will happen is the fracture will occur mainly in the junction between the medial 2/3 and lateral 1/3, because here we can see the curvature. Okay, so because of this curvature, mainly the shaft clavicle fracture will occur at the junction between the medial 2/3 and lateral 1/3 of the clavicle. Okay, so that is the apply, because this is the weakest point. Okay, the junction between the medial 2/3 and lateral 1/3. And after the fracture, what will happen? If it is a complete fracture or compound fracture, this lateral part will be going downward because of the weight of upper leg. Okay, so the lateral piece will go downwards, resulting in the drooping of the shoulder. Drooping of shoulder. Okay, so that is one symptom for case of the fracture of clavicle. So that's all about the clavicle. Okay, so go through this thing, and if you have any doubts, just message me.